Welcome back to Andersen Acres. We are making cookies today. Now I'm going to make chocolate cake cookies. This recipe came about because I was making chocolate cake and decided mid-recipe that I wasn't going to make cake anymore. I was going to make cookies. And as we go through the ingredients, you will spot the exact moment where I decided they were going to be cookies instead of cake. But they turned out delicious, so it was fine. So I started with 1 cup of cocoa powder. Break it up if there's any clumps. 1 cup of cocoa powder. Easy, very much a cake recipe. A cup of sugar, just regular sugar. Give that a stir. Awesome. You don't have to stir it that much. This is seriously a really easy recipe. It has to be because I kind of changed my mind on the fly. 1¼ cup of flour. Now, that extra ¼ cup of flour came about because it was too wet because I was starting to make a cake. Okay, so originally it was 1 cup of flour and then I had to add extra. Okay. Next up, we're going with ½ teaspoon of baking soda. Give that a little floof in there. There we go. ¼ teaspoon of salt. I'm using Himalayan. You can use any salt you like. There we go. You're going to do about ¼ cup of oil. Still very cake. Ooh, that's good enough. Still very cake-like, right? We got our oils, yeah, we're good. Then we're going to do 2 eggs. Yes, my chickens still suck. These are store-bought eggs. But that's okay. We love them anyway. They're allowed to suck. So 2 eggs. That's 1. That's 2. So now we're going to play the little game I like to call Spot the Ingredient That Doesn't Belong in a Cake. Because after the eggs, we're going to add ¼ cup of oats. Yeah. I suddenly decided I was now making cookies. Yeah. That's what happened. Sad for me. So, yeah. So we're going to mix that up. That's when it became cookie time. Yeah. Yeah, cookie time. That's what happens. So you're going to mix that up, and here's where I then decided, I'm really making cookies, so I might as well switch to my hands. Take off your ring just because the cocoa powder. Take off your ring if you have a ring. Not everybody does, but I, of course, always have my ring on. So then we're just going to get in here. I always get in there with cookies. I'm just going to ditch that wooden spoon because now it's annoying me. There we go. But yes, I always get in there by hand with my cookies. There we go. Now, while I'm mixing, I should tell you, preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. See, it's turning very cookie-ish. I didn't add my milk, and I added oats instead, and ta-da, cookies. So this is a very, very rich dough. And now, since we're at the very end of incorporating all these ingredients, we're actually going to add some chocolate chips. Yeah, my hands are covered. However much you want. ½ cup, 1 cup, whatever, doesn't matter. Certainly didn't matter when I was doing it the first time. I was like, do I even have chocolate chips? Yes, I did. Doesn't matter. You're fine. Use semi-sweet, but you can use whatever's in your cupboard, because literally this was a throw it together because we have no idea what it's going to turn out like. It actually turned out really nice. There we go. Now what we're going to do is we need a little more moisture in here, but we don't want a lot. So all we're going to do is we're going to go over to the sink and we're going to put water on our hands and use that as the only moisture we're introducing. There we go. Water on the hands. This will be all the extra moisture you need. You don't need any milk. You don't need any butter. This is all you need, just a little extra moisture. That's it, because you don't want this dough to be too wet or it'll spread too much. So remember, your oven is at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Mine's already preheated. This dough does not require refrigeration of any kind. You just start shaping it. There we go. That's looking pretty good. And look how nice that is. It's good for it to still be a little crumbly. That's okay. That's normal. Okay? Get some of these chunks off our hand here. Then we're going to need a pan. Using a different pan today because my other pan has bread on it right now. So I'm just using a pan that my son made me in shop class. I'm sure we all have one of those. If you have kids in shop class, you probably have the same pan. We're going to do this by teaspoonfuls. Teaspoon. See, I have teaspoon and tablespoon end. We're using the teaspoon end. Squish that in your hands. Roll it into a nice little ball. Pop it on there. Don't flatten it. So again, oops, that's the tablespoon end. Don't do that. Teaspoon, squish, roll, pop it on the pan. Okay, you're just going to keep doing this until you have used up your dough, or until your pan is full, and then you'll do the rest of the dough in the next batch. Again, it doesn't matter. So when you have balls about that size, about a rounded teaspoonful, it doesn't matter. Okay, if you make bigger cookies, you're going to have to bake them for longer. So I'm just going to do 4 across. And this is a really, really easy dough to make. So at this point, I'm going to speed up the video just so you don't have to hear me drone on and on. So we're just going to speed up the video so you can watch, because I'm a little slow at this right now just because I'm really tired. But we're not going to make you watch every single one. So let's speed up now. And there we have it. Our cookies are shaped and ready to go in the oven. We are going to bake them at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and we're going to bake them for about 9 minutes. Keep an eye on them depending on your oven. They might be done at 8, they might need as much as 11. But 9 minutes is pretty accurate for my oven. So we'll stick them in the oven, come back in 9 minutes. All right, our 10-minute timer, 9-minute timer just went off. We're going to grab our pan, slide it out. Oh, those look nice. You notice how they're cracking on the top? That's perfect. They look like tiny little cakes, which is what they started out as. Now we have to take these off the pan right away. Don't let them cool. So we're just going to take them off, shove them on here. Yes, I do not need the entire tiered cookie rack. I don't care. I'm using the entire tiered cookie rack because I can. But you want to get them off quickly. Ow. That's melted chocolate on my hand. Yes, they're very hot. You need to let them set a few minutes before you eat them, because that chocolate, bubbling hot, and yes, I just burned my finger. So you let those cool. They only need about, 3-4 minutes. You can eat them warm, but give them 3-4 minutes for the chocolate to cool. And then you will have excellent cookies. These are delicious. They're easy to make. You probably have the ingredients in your cupboard. If you have the ingredients to make a chocolate cake, you absolutely have these, because that's what they are, plus a little bit of oats. So, thanks for joining us here today at Andersen Acres. I hope you try these chocolate cake cookies for yourself, and I hope you come back tomorrow.